Let's talk about a Republican congressional candidate, Danny Tarkanian, running in Nevada, who is accusing a black opponent of only pretending to be black. Now, if you've never heard of congressional candidate Danny Tarkanian, that's okay. Hopefully you never will again. He's running against black Democrat Steven Horsford, and he's saying Horsford is pretending to be black. He says, we could be like Steven Horsford, who's not doing anything with that community, and pretend we're black and maybe try to get some votes if that's where it is. It's that extent that they're going to. By they, I assume he means black people or Democrats. I don't even know.
Or his opponent's campaign. I don't know.
In a later interview, Tarkanian fired back saying, obviously, or he kind of backtracked, obviously I made an inarticulate statement that is being misconstrued right now. What I meant to say is, it's clear that Mr. Horsford has ignored the community in the time he's been a state senator, and he can't expect to get votes from there. I love it when the apology or the clarification refers to a misunderstanding that's impossible to believe, right? It's like if somebody were to come on the show during an interview and say, David Pakman is a dirty Jew. And then the explanation is, listen, I made an inarticulate comment. It's being misconstrued. What I meant to say is that David Pakman's cooking skills are mediocre at best. And then you say, what on earth does that have to do?
I actually think that is what he meant. In other words, what he said was absurd, obviously. It's kind of like the Stephen Colbert line. He's judging a person's skin color, not by the color of his skin, but by the content of his character. But I think clearly this is what he meant. If you look at the context, he's saying the guy isn't a black candidate, meaning a person who's serving the interests of the black community.
Then the question would be that why is there an assumption that to be a so-called, in other words, if you're a white candidate, it's very, very rare that people are going to come out and debate whether or not you actually serve white interests. This is only even a topic because the guy is black, and there's an assumption from the right that black candidates typically serve the interests of the black people, and this guy is not even doing that, right? I mean,
many people, including in the black community, called Clinton the first black president for this very reason.
That has nothing to do with this story, though.
It's about calling someone a black politician, not because of their skin color, but because they're serving the interests of the black community. It's the same thing.
It's not even really what he's saying, and he's even dancing around it because he's not even talking about the black community. He's using euphemisms. He's talking about the community, his community, that community.
Lewis?
I understand the point Natan's trying to make. I just think in this case, the combination of the shady language that the guy's using to even refer to black people, and the fact that the context is when we have a black Democrat, you have to talk about whether or not they can be trusted to care about anybody other than black people. It's a racist structure, is what I'm pointing out here.
He's clearly, if you look at the context, talking about the black voters shouldn't vote for him because he's not really a candidate that's serving their interests. It's totally obvious.
I disagree with the distinction Natan's trying to draw here. I think it's a good point. I just think in this particular case, you're ignoring the context and the long track record. Lewis, what do you think?
I'm not 100% on what he's trying to say here. It is perfectly possible that he is saying what Natan stated, but I know that you're trying to make the point that this statement shouldn't even exist and only exists because of a racist. I don't know.
Undertone.
Possibly.
Let's pause on this one because I have a couple other black-related stories to talk about. Email me and let me know what you think.